Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 4 of season 2 of Supergirl, Survivors. And all in all, I thought this episode was okay. It didn't really super excite me. The whole Fight Club thing feels kind of well trodden ground. And but there is some nice stuff going on with the characters. So let's just kind of get right into things. Now, speaking of the Fight Club, Roulette is a character from the comics. She's actually a reasonably interesting character in the comics. It's just been a while since I read anything with her in it. I think the last stuff I read with her was something from Secret Six. Here she's played by the lady who was Sky's mom on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I am more than a little bit amused by. But it looks like since she does seem to get away with things at the end, that we might be seeing her again as a little bit more of a reoccurring character. So we'll have to see. Honestly, the whole thing that was most interesting to me about what came out of all this was, I think, probably now Super Kara owes Lena Luthor a favor. So we'll have to see how that happens, how that pans out. And now Snapper Carr has been told, yeah, Supergirl is a source of mine, which okay. I mean, Clark Kent has been known to get quotes from Superman more than occasionally, so all right, that only makes sense. Let's see, what else? Watching Win and Mon-El bond and become friends, that was pretty cool. And particularly how Mon-El plays him just right to get what he wants. And of course, this ends very, very poorly. But that was still kind of fun. Wen seems to be the person who's really kind of one of the people that he's really genuinely getting along with here on Earth. So that's cool. Wen definitely is in need of a guy friend, and I don't know. He and Jimmy never really kind of hit that sort of relationship, so I'm okay with that. We also see that Mon-El and Kara are getting along better. He finds out about her little hologram of her mom, and he bonds with her, talks a little bit about his parents and how apparently they weren't good people. Kara kind of admits, yeah, my parents were flawed. They knew our world was doomed, and they didn't really try and do anything about it. So that's good. There's a nice little growing relationship between the two of them. Let's see. As fans have noted, Alex and Maggie seem to be getting along quite well, and some people even thought that Alex seemed a little disappointed that Maggie mentions that she has a girlfriend. I gotta admit, I'm rather interested to see just exactly where they take this and exactly what kind of relationship is developing between these two. But Alex and Maggie do prove themselves to be a pretty good team. And pretty competent in helping to take down the Fight Club. The real meat and potatoes of this episode, though, I think, was the real relationship between John and Megan. Now, of course, if you're like me, you know the comics. Megan turning out to be a white Martian was no surprise at all. You knew that was coming, although I imagine that was quite the shock for people who don't know the comics. And I do like how there is the relationship between the two of them feels very real. John obviously is thrilled to find another Martian. McGann, not so much, because it's just sort of like the sins of the white Martians just rearing its ugly head again, and just sort of really rubbing salt in those old wounds. So it's really understandable that she really wouldn't want much of anything to do with John. And it's interesting to hear John talk about Martian society and about their culture and how there were no lies. You can't help but kind of get a little bit of a vibe from the Changelings from Star Trek Deep Space Nine with what's going on here. With, of course, John being Odo. But one thing that I didn't like, though, about the whole thing is where they set up that fight at the end. It's like, what exactly is she doing to compel them to fight? I mean, what's to stop them from just, phasing through the wall and walking out? what's going to stop them? Never mind the fact that, like, Kara, why don't you use some of your, like, freeze breath or laser heat vision on this alien gladiator guy? I mean, seriously? But that fit with John forgiving Megan. You know, that was laying it on a little thick, but it worked. And never mind the sort of political message that goes along with this episode that was also laid on, I think, rather thick. But yeah, that's just kind of how things go. Let's see what else. Definitely some nice little nods to the mythology from the comics. Supergirl being referred to as the Maid of Might. I think that's one of her nicknames from the comics. Having Mon-El mention War World, that was really cool. If you know the comics, you know that War World is kind of a big deal. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, I think that kind of covers everything I had to say about this episode. Again, a decent episode. Definitely some nice stuff going on between John and Megan. Some cute moments with Mon-El, but all in all, not the meatiest of episodes. But with that said, I'm going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, subscribe, and of course you can follow me on Twitter at Jedi. Until next time, take care and have a good one.